where we examine police encounters to determine who was right, who was wrong, and whether the law was properly followed. In this episode, we analyze issues involving court proceedings, search warrants, and allegations of obstruction. The footage comes from the AL.com channel. Be sure to check the description and give them proper credit. Before we begin, take a moment to check out the Audit merchandise shelf located below the video. The goal behind the merch is to create designs that go beyond simply advertising the channel. Each graphic is personally designed. As a thank you to viewers, 3 subscribers who leave a comment on this video will be randomly selected to receive an Audit shirt. The giveaway ends 1 week after the video is posted, so make sure you subscribe and participate before the deadline. Now, let's examine the interaction. On February 23, 2017, attorneys Victor Revel and Megan Garcia exited a courthouse alongside their client Lloyd Edwards after attending a hearing related to a protection from abuse order filed by Edwards' wife, Jasmine Edwards. Before leaving the courtroom, Edwards handed 2 of his 3 cell phones to attorney Revel. Moments later, as Revel, Garcia, and Edwards exited the courthouse, they were approached by Deputies Ashworth and Ratliff of the Blount County Sheriff's Office, who intended to execute a search warrant targeting Edwards and his vehicle.
I'm from the Sheriff's Office.
Take a look at it. Do you have any other weapons on your person at this time that I need to know about? RC?
No, sir.
No,
I
now?
do in the car.
Okay. What do you have in normal with?
A small pistol.
Okay. Your vehicle is also part of this search. Okay. So I'm going to have to ask you, do you have the keys to your automobile?
Yes, sir.
I need the keys to your automobile right now. Okay. Let me pat you down, make sure you don't have any other weapon. Just for your safety and ours. Okay. Just hang tight and we'll get all this resolved.
The hearing that day involved allegations made by Jasmine Edwards that Lloyd Edwards had abused both her and their daughter. She also claimed that Edwards' cell phones contained evidence supporting those allegations. Based on that testimony, prosecutors sought a search warrant authorizing officers to search Edwards' person and vehicle for 3 specific cell phones. Attorney Revel later stated that the phones did not contain evidence of abuse. Instead, he claimed they included communications that could support Edwards' defense. According to Revel, the messages suggested that interactions between Edwards and his wife were consensual. Edwards reportedly said that Revel anticipated the possibility that prosecutors might attempt to seize the phones. As a precaution, just before leaving the courtroom, the attorneys requested the devices and placed them inside Garcia's briefcase.
The warrants that you all have are for his person.
That's correct.
And for his vehicle.
That's correct.
So he is given the phone that's on his person.
Okay, I have video of him handing the phone to you, you handing the phone to her. It's in the satchel right now.
Yeah, you all do have that, but that is not on. When you all
No, I'm
came
out
on
here at
him
the courthouse
to serve
with
this
Brian
warrant,
on the search
that was
warrant.
not on his person. So you all are not entitled to that. Okay.
Well, all right then. We'll go the other route to get that other phone.
As Revel pointed out during the confrontation, the search warrant specifically authorized a search of Edwards' person and his vehicle. At the time the warrant was executed, Edwards was not carrying the phones. Because the devices were no longer in Edwards' possession, the deputies arguably lacked authority to seize them under the terms of that warrant. If officers had obtained a warrant specifically targeting the phones themselves, they might have had stronger legal ground to confiscate them. However, even such a warrant could have raised complications because the defense intended to introduce the phones as evidence. Importantly, the warrant did not authorize a search of attorney Garcia. Recognizing the resistance from Revel, Deputy Ashworth contacted the district attorney's office to ask how to proceed.
Okay, we're standing here and we have it on video that he handed his cell phone to his attorney, one, and then handed it to another, and it's in the satchel that is right here.
Well, are we being detained?
At this moment in time,
They're not denying it, we have it on video.
I'm going to detain you until we determine the next course of action. Give me
Well,
just a minute.
I have this
Okay.
person and vehicle.
I'm going to turn this off. I don't know what we just done.
Okay. Okay. We either need the phone out of the satchel or we will have to detain you and give search warrant to get the phone.
So you're gonna well, okay. Well, we're not going to give you we're not going to give you anything that's on our person that you don't have a right to. So if you detain us, you have to have there's certain constitutional safeguards to do that. But you're going to detain us, then hey, we're not going to run. So and you all are telling us we are being detained. Is that right?
Time right now, you are being detained. Now, if they determine.
Okay, you both are under arrest for obstructing government operations.
Obstructing government operations.
That's correct.
Miss Ashworth.
This is definitely an unlawful arrest. But we're under arrest. We're under arrest.
Revel's claim that the arrest was unlawful appears well supported by the circumstances. The deputies ultimately charged Revel with obstruction, but under Alabama law, obstruction requires intentional interference with a government function through intimidation, force, or direct interference. Neither Revel nor Garcia engaged in threatening behavior or physical obstruction. They simply refused to comply with what they believed to be an unlawful demand. Notably, if deputies truly believed the warrant authorized them to seize the phones, nothing physically prevented them from taking Garcia's bag and retrieving them. Revel and Garcia were asserting legal objections, not actively blocking the deputies from performing their duties.
Yeah, real life.
Sir, if you would, turn around, let me make sure you don't have no weapon on you at all.
Of course not.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
We have it on video.
We have not broken the law. So if you're arresting us, I'm being arrested for obstructing government operations.
That's correct.
Let me take out this right here.
If you don't mind taking property, that way it'll be a lot.
Real life. Y'all want to arrest two lawyers for this charge? You sure you
Are
want
you
to do this?
subject to the law?
I am subject to the law.
Under arrest.
Okay. And this is, and who are you?
I'm Sue Ashworth.
Sue Ashworth.
That's correct. And this is Brian Ratliff.
And you're arresting us under her orders?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Deputy Ratliff, yes, I want to make sure that you know from our position was that this search warrant, this warrant was given to him after he gave us some things for us to use in his defense. And so we did not do anything to keep you all from doing you all's job. Now, if you all want to
I'm out here
this
with
satchel and go
the
through
sheriff's
and do it,
office at the courthouse.
we're not preventing you from
Doing a search warrant on the car and making
so I just wanted to make
I'm
that
out here just
From the moment he's entered the courthouse, he's been under surveillance.
Yeah.
Okay? For the reasons of this search warrant. Alright? I'm sitting here and watched you and him and her.
can't believe we get about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be ready.
You looked up. As a matter of fact, you did look up at the camera 2 or 3 times. He pulled the phone out and handed it to you. You handed it back to him. He was fooling with, I'm guessing, a password. And after a short period of time, he handed it back to you. You handed it to her. She put it in here. Okay? That is evidence for this search warrant.
And you agree with me that you all served this search warrant subsequent to that, after that, all right?
Yeah.
After we left out the building.
Yes.
Despite the dispute over the warrant scope, both Revel and Garcia were arrested and charged. Prosecutors later offered to drop the charges if Revel agreed to write a letter apologizing and acknowledging that the deputies had done nothing wrong. Revel declined and chose to proceed to trial. During the criminal trial, the defense argued that prosecutors failed to prove criminal intent and that no obstruction occurred because the search warrant did not authorize the search of Edward's attorneys. The prosecution attempted to justify the seizure under the exigent circumstances doctrine, which allows warrantless searches when there's an immediate risk that evidence could be destroyed, something sometimes argued in cases involving digital data. During testimony, Edwards, who was still under investigation, stated that District Attorney Casey had attempted to prepare him for his testimony despite reportedly recusing herself from the case. Ultimately, Judge King acquitted Revel and Garcia of all charges, concluding that the deputies misunderstood the authority granted by the search warrant and that the defendants never physically obstructed law enforcement. Following the incident, Revel and Garcia withdrew from Edwards' case and filed federal lawsuits against the deputies, as well as the district attorney and assistant district attorney involved. Edwards' underlying criminal case has reportedly been delayed multiple times before different grand juries. Meanwhile, Revel has expressed optimism that the civil litigation may eventually lead to a settlement under certain conditions. Overall, the deputies and prosecutors involved receive a failing evaluation for overstating the authority of the search warrant, potentially violating Revel and Garcia's Fourth Amendment protections, and arresting them for obstruction under questionable circumstances. Attorney Revel earns high marks for his legal awareness, composure, and willingness to challenge what he believed to be an unlawful order while defending his client's rights. If there's a legal topic or police encounter you'd like analyzed in a future episode, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more breakdowns of real-world police interactions.